So there's an episode of Everybody Loves Raymond in season 6 called Snow Day. There's this big snowstorm that happens suddenly. Ray and Deborah have to cancel this big trip that they were going to go on. They all get stuck, the whole family, in Frank and Marie's house, and they end up doing this like dancing, having fun, having a good time. And Deborah accidentally makes this insulting remark to Frank, where like the two of them are dancing, having fun, and she says to Frank, "I can't believe I'm actually having a good time with you." And he gets upset, goes outside. After some BS and Deborah arguing with the family, she eventually goes outside to talk to him, apologize, and he says to her that the reason that he got so upset is because he always thought that it was him and her against the rest of them. They're loonies, implying that he's not a loony. And here's my hot take. In a weird way, he's kinda right. Now, Frank is not a great person. He's rude, obnoxious, gross, cheap, sexist, homophobic, lots of stuff like that. But are a lot of those characteristics particularly abnormal? They're not good ones, but are they that unique? Are they that weird? Like, I think particularly when you compare Frank to two other characters on the show, Robert and Marie, he comes off kind of ordinary. Like, Robert has all these weird idiosyncrasies and habits and stuff, like laying out some nuts on a table and being like, peanut almond cashew, like some weird hobby. He names his toenails. He separates his goods and plenties into goods and plenties, like they say in that episode. He has to always have his toothbrush facing east. Weird stuff like that. Harmless, but pretty weird. Marie has these negative characteristics of being a smother, overly protective, condescending, judgmental, in these like very extreme ways, to the point where it's very different. There's not a lot of other people like her. Now Frank does occasionally have his moments where he can take his obnoxiousness and grossness to high and unique levels. Things like the episode where they move to the retirement community and they catch him alone in the middle of the night, in the kitchen eating a whole bologna, or sitting around the house with his pants open, even when there's guests. Those things are kind of weird. But a lot of his main character traits that he's known for, if you think about it, are ones that are kind of common for, like, guys like him, his age, from his time period, people who have the same kind of experiences. Some of his friends, like Stan and Garvin and those guys, act like him in a lot of ways. Well, people like Robert and Marie, there's not many people like them, but there's a lot of people like Frank in the world.